anniversary. Yeah, let's talk. This is MajorTv and this is brought to you by Major. Like and subscribe to get your notifications. Couldn't do it without you, need your full participation. And we giving back just to show our appreciation. Tune in daily, get your positive vibrations. Learn different words in your own native language. Learn being black ain't all about slavery. They put that in the school book, it's part of education. We need to rewrite it, need some better information. Like how we built the pyramids and formed our own nation. Visit different continents and then try to invade them. Way before Columbus, but that ain't none of these pages. It's all just rumors, just a bunch of speculation. But why in every myth, every hero is Caucasian? Even white people starting to say this shit is racist. Like how they talking to blacks for this vaccination. This is MajorTv and this is brought to you by Major. Like and subscribe to get your notifications. Do it without you, need your full participation. And we giving back just to show our appreciation. This is MajorTv and this is brought to you by Major. Like and subscribe to get your notifications. Do it without you, need your full participation. And we giving back just to show our appreciation.
Hi Major, it's good to have you. Welcome. How are you feeling about everything?
I'm feeling great.
Okay. Well, we're excited to have you. You've had a beautiful year from what we all have all witnessed, and we definitely appreciate your efforts and everything that you've done and put out in your heart, and how much you have shown love to your people, you know. And so we do want to ask, how was your year, your first year?
My first year was beautiful. I really got a chance to do something I always wanted to do once I came from out the dark into the light to want to help my community. I knew I had something to offer, and opportunity presented itself, and I just grabbed it, you know. And as a result, this one year was a beautiful year. I've met so many sweet, beautiful black people that was going through mental health issues, people that were going through relationship issues, people going through life issues, that was inspired by some of my videos, and just my interaction with them, you know, and sharing my personal experience and what I had been through, what have you. I never really tried to make this channel about me. It was just certain times throughout the year, there was things I had to just respond to. And if they didn't know, now you know I'm very passionate and emotional, you know what I'm saying? So it had allowed a lot of people to gravitate to, you know, what I was trying to do. And I watched a lot of people come together under my channel. You know, people that never met, what have you, came together and really started building relationships and stuff like that, you know. So it was a beautiful year, you know. I really enjoyed it. Ups and downs. All good.
Very good. Okay. This was the first time that people got to know MajorTv. But when did the movement start for you?
I mean, it started when I realized that I need to stop hurting my people. I really need to, like, get my stuff together and start doing right with my people. And from that point, I just became very focused on being more informed about our history, about our conditions, and why we're in the position we're in. So for me, that was a turning point for me. And I witnessed for a very long time the same old in leadership, in the community, and what have you. But for me, my conscience always focused on wanting to get back what I've taken. Because when I was young, when I was foolish, I was like many black people that just was brainwashed and didn't know any better. You know, I was taken away, I wasn't giving back. I was causing more harm or hurt, and I definitely lived with that for most of my life. But I want to praise the Most High that, you know, I made that change, and now, you know, it's starting to manifest through the channel and things I've done for people personally, you know, because prior we started a YouTube channel, I did a lot of stuff behind the scenes that I don't like talking about too much. It was more on help black people, period, you know what I'm saying? So I've always been that B1 mindset, you know what I'm saying, once I became conscious, because it was like, when you're dark, you don't see anything. When you're in the light, you see everything. So once I came to the light, I just applied myself.
Okay. And what made you start this YouTube channel?
I tried to start a boxing channel, right? And I didn't know what I was doing, really. I didn't know what I was doing. And I was trying with a daughter to help me. She tried, and it was crazy. Like, I didn't do no, I think with 1 or 2 videos, and I was like, I ain't doing no with it. But deep inside, I had a conviction, right? I was like, man, I need to talk about, I was struggling. I really need to just get into it, because I was watching people that been in the movement for a minute, you know, that had question marks, of course. There was doubt around their intentions and how sincerity were, right? And there were people that really was doing something that I felt like wasn't getting attention, but I could never really get around to my girl suggested. Months later, after I tried the Boston channel, it didn't go nowhere because I knew what I was doing. I'm glad I didn't do it, by the way, too. And once she actually started a YouTube channel, because I have a message, I have something to say, I've been through some testimony. I thought about it, I said, okay, you know what, I'm gonna do that. And I just started the channel. And the channel just took off, you know. And I also want to say this. I have been observing for a long time our issues, right? And I have to get something clear. A lot of people think that when you just start talking about this, you're Johnny come later, you just no kid on the block. But I've been talking like this. I've been in a movement. I had my ebbs and flows, I had my ups and downs, I had to wrestle with things, right? But I made a video. See, if you don't know now, you know, because people still question me after all the content I dropped. When I first started this YouTube channel, my mind and heart was in helping black people, and it's still there. But I'm making this video just to answer questions that people may have about me. I'm not going to get personal, but I'm going to give you an idea who I am. Now, if you don't know, I go by the name of Major. I was brainwashed, and I de-brainwashed myself through searching and finding the true knowledge of self. I have done some good things in my life and bad things in my life. I am that very black person you may see every day in your life. I could be your neighbor, the mailman, the person that works in the store, a nurse, lawyer, police, garbage worker, truck driver, etc. What matters is we do exist and we're out here. I was told one time in my comments, and it was recently, where you at? Where you was at? You saying this because of blah, blah, blah. I always existed. You never see me. Why? Because the powers that be have a strong hold on everything. And our movement, whether we want to accept it or not, has to be tactical and wise movement. Have I spoken or have I shared my piece? Of course. I will continue to do that. Using platforms like social media was never something I really thought of or thought about. But I can tell you this much, that since I learned that YouTube and social media can be an outlet to let out how I personally feel and how I see things are going in our community, I started to speak out. And as you can see on my platform, I'm very verbal. Though I know I have said some things and criticized some people that y'all may have not liked me to do, I did it because I walk in my own truth. I can like a movement, but also criticizing. I can accept when I'm wrong. I can also accept that we can just agree to disagree. What matters the most, you should know I just care and I'm down on my people. So if you don't know, now you know. You don't know, now you know me. There is people every day that you may see on a job that come in your business, that live in your neighborhood, that work in Walmart, that may be a doctor, lawyer, what have you. I'm just throwing it out just for example, right? Garbage work or what have you. That are very conscious of what's going on. They know what's up and they're willing to make a move. They're just waiting on a call. The problem, the call haven't been made. When the call is made, there's always a misstep or something that throws everything off. But I definitely want to share that video we're doing with the anniversary because people need to realize that there are people like me that have been out here. All the books I used to recite off the top of my head, people don't know I'm a walking encyclopedia. I can almost tell you every leading case, criminal-wise, and some civil. Level leading case in the United States Supreme Court, and some state case in Louisiana, I studied Louisiana law, as well as books and everything I read, you know. I be tripping when I be listening. I watched a lot of people that's on YouTube. The books they talking about like 20, 30 years old that have been read. It's funny that people like they new to this. They're like, oh, my eyes open, my eyes open to that. That stuff been out there. We don't take time to read. That's like right now. You got people that's free. Take their free time and mess out with their free time and not pick up a book. And now you have audio books. We do perish because of lack of knowledge. And that's just real talk. They say the truth is important. And for me, I feel like too many times we see people like me come on the scene, people quick to kind of come at you because why? They hear you talking, see things you're doing, they can be really good, give you some solid stuff. Because you ain't been around talking, they've been talking for years, but they don't know you've been in the neighborhoods. You was talking to them kids here. You was over here helping the family here. You had brothers together, get organized, doing things. See, people don't realize everything's not meant for the camera. That's why when I say hashtag turn with action, it's about turning with action. And I'm not talking about getting on the camera and saying I'm going to do something. I'm just talking about, if you're talking about there's something you want to do, whether you're having a personal conversation or you're on camera, you just do it. After you put your plans together, got organized and do it. So I'm sorry for just going off like I did, but I just had to say that. That was on my mental, you know? Mm-hmm. And I want to make sure that it's shared, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't think I got a lot of views for it, but people want some. But I want people to realize about that because it's so important that there's people out here, like you and I, that know better. Just because we're not in front of the camera, we see how people get exploited. We see how people taking people's lives and stuff. Never really looking at the message. Never really looking at what that person have done or trying to do. We were programmed to be like that.
What have been some good and bad experiences while doing your YouTube channel?
Where can I start? The first deal with the trolls. That was something I couldn't deal with, right? And how people was just criticizing GMJ. You know, I couldn't really deal with that. And lastly, GMJ yelling at me. I mean, people gotta realize the troll thing was just I knew about it, but to see how people were, and I had to have people tell me like, man, you know that. Don't give me no energy, you know what I'm saying? And you know, I knew better, but sometimes when I see our people with the nonsense, it just shocked me. Yeah, And then people just critiquing GMJ as opposed to just letting everything just play out. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I have no problem critiquing it, but some people went on a rampage. But not had an issue with that. And I really had an issue with the fact why you had so much to say about somebody that had really brought some information to our community, some encouragement, some information that can be so helpful. I just didn't get it. And lastly, GMJ yelling at me, that, like, I don't know how the Most High helped me to manage that, but I was like, I wasn't in a good place. I really had to just think on my feet, because people were like, the first interview was my first interview ever in life. And I'm a confident man. I'm very confident. I feel the one with the Most High. And in my mind, once I put in my mind I can do it, I get the job done. But the reason why I was able to deal with it because it was about the people, it wasn't about how I was feeling. You know, so yeah, that was the two things that would have, you know, as far as the people per se, black people, I do really feel like we're the hardest people to deal with. Because we've been through a lot of time, we don't realize that we respond to things negatively coming from a black person. We're quick to believe what a white person said. But when a black person said, we always question. We always have 3 and 4 questions. We become antagonistic when they have it, as opposed to realizing that, hey, this man's speaking the truth. But that's what we've been conditioned to. But overall, you know, it also made me strong. It made me realize that there's work to be done with me personally, in reference to being ready for the element of surprise, and also staying strong, you know, and what have you. Because I know one thing: if I didn't stop entertaining trolls, if I didn't stop talking about this, or stop letting that worry me, I don't know how I would be right now, you know. So I definitely thank God for just giving me the patience and understanding, overstanding, dealing with it.
Why are you so passionate when it comes down to black people in the movement?
Because we're the most mistreated people in the world. We were one time great and still are great, and we don't even know it. We have been reshaped, remolded, reinvented into an image of us, you know. And the sad thing about it, we dominate in a lot of areas with dealing with the mental health that we constantly deal with often. And for me, it's like, I feel like the sincerity in the movement has been severely, it took a severe blow. I feel like sincerity is not all the way there. You see too much of commercialized, you see too much of me, myself, and I, as opposed to we, us, and ours. It's more about capitalism than the people. And when I look around and see what we've been through, I'm like, what has happened? Because people been around for years, and whatever they accomplished has been watered down, a non-existent, or is more in-house. There's too many withdrawals and less deposits in the community. And I just feel like we have to go in the community and attack the issues, something we haven't been able to do. So I'm very passionate about getting things did. I'm very passionate about bringing people together. I can't see it no other way. I don't see constantly talking behind the camera. I don't see constantly selling trauma as an answer. I don't see the man worshiping as an answer. You know, I really feel like all of us are losing our own right, and all of us should pick up the mantle and want to do something. Have no problem to let that one person that lead, you know what I'm saying? But I do believe the people should be the ones who chose that. For me, too much has been taken granted. I see the same thing our people did, our ancestors did, the past, we doing the same thing now. The same mistakes, same mishaps. You know, and for me it's like, they have to change. So if I could touch one person, right, I touch the whole universe. You know what I'm saying? The whole generation. I touch one person. And that's my goal. My goal is just try to get the message out. Whoever inspired, whoever I can get to pick up the mantle, cool. All our days are ticking. I just feel like it's time to do my part.
A lot of people that we've seen throughout the year, different people, but one in particular was Grandmaster Jay, which was, he led the Black formations, you know, pulling up, you know, to support and demand justice. Your experience meeting Grandmaster Jay and you know, and having interviewed him a few times and got to know him.
I mean, it was humbling for me because he had to give him interviews. I really appreciated him. Just when I had no idea of giving an interview, and I was talking with Sister Ella, you know, and when he come out the car, I told her, I said, like, GMJ, that's not him. You know, he jumped out the car, and I was screaming. I got the look. It was like they had attacked him, right? So, you know, I just did the filming and whatnot. And when he was walking back to the car, and I said, hey, man, I said, get an interview with him. He said, oh, brother, I ain't come out for a while. I said, man, it's MajorTv. Oh, man, he gave me that. It's in the it's in the video, you know. So it's kind of funny how he did that, right? And he praised me, talked black to me, and also the great channels. How we kept it going on. He even shout out Kid Money. I mean, for about 30 minutes, the brothers praised me, you know what I'm saying? I had no idea that all what I was doing in reference to like keeping the name relevant and pushing what he was trying to do with these formations and how he wanted black people to stop the violence in our community and stop allowing the police or anyone to harm us. We can exercise our Second Amendment, especially while we exercise our First Amendment. And I was really like, and I was really touched by it, you know. Likewise, the second and third interview, you know, it was just a thing whereas he gave me the opportunity, you know. Meeting him was, I don't know, I was happy. Even though I had issues with the yelling in the first interview, you know, the second interview, when you yelling over me, he kind of was like, oh no, man, what happened, you know? Now, third interview, I told him, I'm glad you didn't yell at me. I think I'd really been wrestling, you know, so he was laughing, so. I mean, but it's all love. I love the brother. I believe he have good intentions, you know. People know I've critiqued him about his missteps and things that I thought that shouldn't have been said or did, but he's his own man, you know. But meeting him, it was special, you know. We talk now, as you know, we talk now, and we talk, I'm gonna say regularly, you know. We became a big bro, and at times we give advice, we give each other advice, you know. So I can really say it was a great experience overall, you know.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so as a just as a person getting to know different black leaders and just this whole conscious movement right now in the world, how do you feel about the leadership in the black community right now?
I feel someone lost his identity. I think black leadership make it more about them and their ideas as opposed to people. And some of the ideas can be good ideas that's workable. But a lot of time, it has no legs when you don't have the community behind you. It has no legs when you don't have other leadership or groups that's really helping to promote it. Like, I just feel like leadership don't know how to work together. It's more about someone said or something did and keep them divided. And don't get me wrong, I don't approve all that disrespect myself. I don't approve all that yapping all by the mouth. But I do understand that sometimes we have to realize that our people come first. So I feel like there's some leadership out there that's doing pretty good. But a lot of leadership is just stagnant, you know what I'm saying? Lack a real foot in the community because they're talking at the people and not with the people. And they're not really actively in the community like they should. They're there for certain little events or what have you. And that's cool, don't get me wrong. Something beats nothing. But when you're saying that year in and year out, your people at the bottom of everything. Education, finances, political awareness, cultural awareness. I mean, the list go on. Somewhere down the line, there should be high alert alarm, a major alarm should go on us coming together and try to deal with what's going on in our community. I see a lot of people already taking positions about this and about that, and I just don't agree with it. But that's why I started this platform, to be able to push what I believe, along with working with Elaine Porter, self-determination, on the code and whatnot, how we pushing about getting our own political status, you know, being a sovereign nation in the nation. You know, I push financial literacy. I push black empowerment. That's what I push. But for me, I feel like you have to show the people. You have to show everybody, at least for everything, just how it needs to be done. Now, whether people, or at least you get behind it's another question, but what I noticed, I seen within 1 year, I got over 40, 100 people. And that may not be a lot of people. On those 400 people, I done seen people meet and form alliances and what have you, and working together and whatnot. So I know what I'm doing is working. I've allowed my platform to not just be about me talking about our issues, but I allow people on the platform to also share their views and whatnot. I've pushed about buying black and black business. I push financial literacy. I push black empowerment. All the things I push, you know. So for me with leadership, I feel like we're in the ballpark. We only probably getting the first base. You know. So, gotta do more. Much more.
And what do you think is a solution to true change and freedom for black people?
One that can align it with the Most High and identify with yourself, asking real questions about what you need to do to get yourself together and what you need to do within your family, community, and humanity. You know what I'm saying? See, you can't get nowhere in life if you don't have you together. I'm talking about spiritual, mental, physical, emotional. That's called a holistic approach. You know, you have to get that balance. You need to know about yourself, your history. You need to be equipped financial literacy, how to budget money, how to save, how to invest, and more importantly, have strong family values in your family, right? And as your family gets strong and you get strong, then you reach out in the community and you help those who are in need, and you contribute in whichever way you can according to your gifts and your ability. Then I do believe we contribute to humanity. I think technology should be looked at, science and everything. I think we should definitely want to be innovative, creative, you know. So I definitely do think it fell with the Most High first. You understand, the Most High having a relationship, then getting yourself together, having strong family ties, going to the community, doing your part, contribute to humanity, be innovative. You know, I think we are so creative, we're so powerful, that we just look inside. The answer's always in you. See, a lot of time when people ask a question like that, the first thing to hit that person's mind is, man, gotta get me together first. And they gotta understand creation, you know what I'm saying? And then a lot of times we are dumbing down to people that just respond to stuff without even really looking at what's your real responsibility here, what's your purpose, you know. So that's my brief answer to it, I guess.
Oh, what do you want people to get from your channel?
I want people to get from my channel one second. I want people to get from my channel is the fact that the only way you get better, the world around you get better, when you change the way you think, when you change the way you perceive things, when you take the time to really seek and find, really develop and grow. We have to put the phone down, we have to cut the TV off, or close the laptop and the iPad. We have to want to do better. There is not a person that listens to the video right now, or watching the video, excuse me, can't tell me that in your life right now there isn't something they can do to make themselves better. A lot of us, we have been reduced down to accepting being contented, just getting over the hump. While we watch people that come in our neighborhoods take over our neighborhoods. The very stores we seen open up all the time in our neighborhood, we could be one of the ones to open the stores. But we don't think like that. We were reduced down to working class people. We're disrespected in every kind of way. But why? Because we accept it. If we was as a people, just do what we gotta do, so much to change. But we find excuses because we allow this system of race, white supremacy, to dominate our thinking, discourage us, to reduce us down to simple people. As great as we are, we got people that can write, they can speak, they can create, they can invent, they can build. There are people that have money or have access to it or refuse to put their energy in the community. You know, so for me, I just feel like it's still when we change the way we think. We have to change the way we think. We have really allowed the media, music, classroom, peer pressure, society to reduce us to mediocre thinkers. I'm gonna be honest with you. When I first started this channel, I didn't know the hell I was doing. I won't lie. I never forget one of my videos. I look like Pumpkinhead in the video. My head is just sitting on the screen. I'm like, damn. And I was trying to raise how I wrestled there in like a week. Whereas I had to rearrange my office, and it was funny. Like, I mean, I didn't know what I was doing. Thanks to my girl, Ty, bro, Ty, shots, bro, Ty, and Talk Black, it showed me a lot of little bitty things. And it wasn't too much like staying over. They were just showing me stuff, telling me stuff. A lot of I was doing a lot of reading, researching, whatever. But it was funny when I just see it. I just think about certain things I didn't know what I was doing. It was crazy. And I'm gonna just be truthful. I was extremely afraid of doing this because I really played my people short. I really thought black people were gonna be so mean and ugly with me. It was gonna be like, oh, he don't know what he's talking about. Oh, he wanted me this, he wanted me that. But I must admit, I have to truly apologize. It really kept me going. Black people kept me going. I'm serious. I mean, there was time when I would drop videos, I'd be so nervous after I drop them, right? And I look back, I look at the views, the silver comment, oh, okay, cool, all right. And it was positive, and I was like, man, I mean, out of probably like 30, 20 comments, you might have one troll or something. It got to the point where I learned about black people that you can't count them out. As fickle, as funny acting, as brainwashed we can be sometimes. Yeah, a lot of us know better and doing better. And I really learned to appreciate not taking stuff for granted, because I did take it for granted, thinking that I was thinking the worst, and it was really all positive for my people. For the movement, same old, same old. Same old, same old. Nothing different. Nothing. I think GMJ definitely changed the game with the black militia movement and how he came about as opposed to Black Panthers. That was a game changer, right? He wasn't talking about killing or shooting nobody unless somebody was shoot. And the people that was already having platform organization that was speaking pro-black like GMJ decided to talk against him or not see them at all. And left him out there. Keep taking blows because you have too many people in the movement that have got to continue where they at. And they really think that the way we should do it in their eyes is the right way, when I believe that there's no such thing as the right way when we haven't accomplished hardly anything. The little things we accomplish, they gradually taking it away or minimizing it, right? So for me, I tell people, like, let's say we go in a store, right? I don't want to drive, you want to fly, someone want to catch Uber, other person want to ride a bike, another person want to walk. We're arguing about how we should get to the store as opposed to going to the store. It doesn't matter, as long as we go to the store, and there's a reason, because I forgot to say, the store needs help. It needs construction, it needs some labor, we need to put some products in it, it needs help to serve the community. But we fuss about it to get there. It doesn't matter. When you fly, drive, walk, ride a bike, catch a cab, it don't matter as long as we get there. And that's the problem. Like, we don't understand that. The funny part, we don't even sit down. We don't have a council or our own government for the community to help orchestrate and prioritize and organize and then mobilize. We're not doing that. There is too much commercializing and capitalizing. There's too much commercializing and capitalizing our community, and it's sad. And the funny part, they think the people don't see it, the people see it. You know, there's a lot of people just whatever. They're going to ride and die with their people, but it's too much of all the wrong things. And for me, it changed my life because I feel appreciated knowing I'm doing something positive. I feel appreciated when people text me like, Major, when they comment in the live chat, we really appreciate it. We love you. We love what you're doing. Keep doing what you're doing. Don't give up. There is times when people hear my verse, they can see in the video, they can see it in my face. Like I just see the frustration, just knowing that I'm trying to fight for something righteous, and there's so much other noise in the room that it's drowning my noise out. Like it baffles me how I be having some nice Bible conversation on my platform. I represent a lot of strong information, and I might have 100 views, 20 views, and I see some views, 50,000 views, 100-something thousand views, and when I go look at it, I don't really be talking about nothing. I'm not trying to hate or undermine. I just see that our people love to set a climber to each other without a message. And for me, everybody know I don't use profane on my channel. I don't use the N-word. That's for a reason. I really believe it's about personality and character. I don't believe that you should sit and do what you want to do, but then get mad when you're a kid or somebody call you out on being a hypocrite because you said what they don't want, they should do that, but you're doing the same thing. And too many times we just lack that, and it's sad because there's so much potential, Like I've took my own personal money. I took my own personal money everywhere I went. Took my own personal money. I got donations, but donations never was enough. You know what I'm saying? For what I really was trying to do, but it was never about it. Because you remember, I have never asked for donations on my channel. People told me I never forget. I ain't called a guy named my first donation was $20. I said, man, you have a cash out? And I was like, yeah, I have a cash, and I gave him the cash. He sent the money. I'm like, okay, cool. And I never put my cash up at, right? I never heard from the guy again. And people were like, man, you put your cash up, but people want to see your money. And when I first told them I'm going to GMJ court day, people were like, put your cash up. And I was getting, people were scared after me money went at me, right? So I was told, like, Major, look, you don't have to, if you don't want to act like nobody, but at least put your PayPal, cash out, Venmo, what have you. And I did it, right? Then somebody reminded me, it was an African saying that when a person offers you a gift, you don't refuse it. It's an insult. So, but for me, I've been humble. I've not been humble about the donation. I've been humble about people just want to contribute. Because I know some people can't travel like that, are not able to travel. I know that some of the things I do, some people want to do but can't. So I just noticed that we as a people do know how to come together, do know how to work things out, and they really want something to happen, they'll make it happen. I see that. I see there's so much potential in our community. I really do. So for me, it gives me energy. They give me a reason to want to do videos and drop all kind of news and whatever, And I don't just like to entertain. It's about black news, talking entertainment, so I want to cover, entertainment too, because news is just general news that affect our community. Talk is commentary, entertainment, I want to get to like sharing a lot of positive stuff. Got the news thing going on, you already know.
Okay. Good. Okay, so how does it feel now turning from starting your YouTube, now turning it into a black media platform?
Now that's my baby, like the black media platform, because YouTube was like something I'd done, But the black media thing was something that just hit me. Like, I ain't been hearing people about black media, black media, black media. But at this time, talk black media, him like, get a website with that. And I kind of dragged with it for a minute. And then I said, I want to search the website. Well, you know what I'm saying? I started, putting together a website to hire somebody to do that. A couple of people helped out, right? So I got Miss Staff and whatever the staff, not right. And we said it. But that means a lot to me because now you won't always hear me, you know what I'm saying? It'll be like, I want this black media platform, which would be MajorTv Let's Talk, www.MajorTvLetsTalk.com, right? And it's gonna probably be up any day, like, and it's supposed to be tomorrow, but because of Hurricane Ida and things going on with family and friends, everybody in New Orleans, the people that's working with my homies, you know what I'm saying? I kind of had to understand that. But behind the scenes, I want to be a one-stop shop type thing, right? And I don't mean to say shop because I am selling hats or sell MajorTv t-shirts, hats, hoodies, and what have you. But I'm talking about that for as news, blogging. I'm gonna try to have a chat room there. There's so much that I want to tell people about it, but it's premature to really talk about everything with it. But it feels great. It feels great because it's not something I thought about. It's something that just I was hearing people talk about it, right? You're a black media platform, or we need black media because media this and media that. I'm like, you know what? That's what's up. So doing that is special to me. You know, I don't talk about it as much because we put together. I'm trying to really make sure that it's a one-stop spot. You know, I would like for when people come there to just feel at home. You know, I talk behind the scenes about all that I'm trying to do with it, so I don't want to over-talk myself, but it feels great. I won't lie, it feels great. And it allows me to also be more frank too, and more candid, right? I mean, I don't have to worry about the COVID conversation being sensitive, you know. I don't have to worry about certain things that I can't show on other platforms that have my own. I don't have to worry about the censorship and all that. I can just drop what I'm going to drop. And I want to look forward to me teaching classes and having people teach. I come to people want to teach for me. I'll be teaching classes, what have you, and I'm going to go back to my basics, financial literacy, community building, as well as talking about self-determination. We have some classes that we're going to work on. We have some classes that we're going to be teaching, so y'all be ready. It's going down.
So, how have your journey been learning about YouTube and all of the different things about YouTube and all of the social media platforms?
It's been hard to get help. It's been hard. I live at the big pay, and it's been hard to get people to help you. I need a personal assistant. I posted one time, I need a personal assistant. Somebody just help me with a schedule. I could do virtually. Now I gave up looking for that. Now I'm doing my own thing. If I can find somebody can really come to my office and sit me down and help me out, but I've been doing all my stuff myself. But I'm gonna be honest with you, I just highly competitive. You know, this if you won't find anything, go to YouTube, right? And then we talking about when you first hit the channel, you know, how you have to constantly put videos out there to become a part of YouTube algorithm. Eventually you get the 1,000 subscribers and blah, 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 right? I follow that method, but they were saying sometimes keep old videos, right? You see how far you can, but I won't lie. Man, that when I was like, punking out. I was like, man, look at me. I was like, I got the glasses on and stuff, and I'm like, but you know, hey, it was a lesson. But when I look back, it was just experience and growth, you know. People have to realize I never did anything like this. Never, you know. Like, really thought about getting in front of the camera, talk to people, particularly our people, and just let loose, you know, of what I know, what I experienced, what I've seen, what I think, my opinions and whatnot, you know. It was just something that just, I feel like I had to do. I feel like for so long, I watched this person, that person, and what have you speak about issues that I'm doing wrong. in some respect, I do understand where it's coming from, but I just feel like the way it was coming out, I just felt like there should be more to that conversation. There just be more to that discussion. And I'm not just talking about actually in words, I'm talking about actually in acts and deeds. See, we talk so much that we forget that the enemy going to our community. He has no problem doing this here, feeding or what have you. And we wonder why our people are so gullible to listen to them and believe in them. I know they brand. I know how people have been brainwashed, have been taken advantage of and manipulated. But for me, I just felt like, now we should talk and also show, demonstrate, And don't get me wrong, it's hard, you have to have your finances up. You have to get people to believe in what you're doing, and you just gotta just do your best. That's just my opinion, but it's a journey for me. It's a journey now. It's my life. It's like working out. It's a livelihood. You know what I'm saying? Like working up. My business with that. It's a livelihood. So the move is a livelihood. I guess a livelihood, but it's a way of life. Now, whereas correction, way of life. I'm referring to when I wake up, I think about the normal stuff, right? And also our people, you know what I'm saying, in the mix, because I just feel like I represent our people, and our people should represent me. And we should always be thinking about helping each other, always thinking about how we can make things right. That's just my opinion.
So, how did you feel when you first critiqued Grandmaster J and everybody was like coming at you? How did you feel at that moment?
Oh, I'm gonna show y'all the video. The video gotta speak for itself. Telling me not to pull a plug. Only reason I pulling a plug, I seen a lot of people was really taking what I was saying personal. And I was just giving my honest critique. I was only giving my honest critique of what I seen Grandmaster J had did. I love the fact he got on exercise the Second Amendment. I love the idea that he gave us something I couldn't do. I have legal issues. You know what I'm saying? Real legal issues, you know what I'm saying? And I've always been the fight. Anybody know me from New Orleans when I was upstate? Everybody know. I just don't want to talk about me right now. It's not about me. It's about you, black people. I didn't raise so many books, did so much, and it's hard to fight this white supremacy. When he first went out there talking about carrying guns, and I went there Lafayette on rally and whatnot, he was pretty cool with the police. He wasn't trying to act antagonistic, but he still spoke his mind. I went to Lafayette because why? I wanted to see what was real or not, because I was hearing the Tariqs and them, what have you. And I wanted to believe he was not an agent or what have you. And I know, and I know, I don't believe he's an agent. I don't believe he's kidding, But I checked him out. I checked everything. I checked everything about me. Like I admitted to all that. I studied when I talk. I have a speech impediment. I was real about it. Y'all show me so much love. Y'all got me understand. When I did those videos, right, about critiquing Grandmaster J, because I dropped it now. Y'all said, y'all didn't want to pull a plug. I dropped the first, but I'm about to drop the second one, right? And I know I can give my opinion, but I don't want nobody to think I'm trying to stop him from, I'm not trying to put white people, nobody on top what's going on with Grandmaster J. I just trying to share thoughts of the strategy of you're in war, how you need to go about doing things. He did damn near everything right. I'm just saying, watch what you say. I guess I was too graphic with my pictures and what have you, but I like to show proof. You have people flip out behind police killing other black people and what they're shooting, you know what I'm saying? And kill police. Look, my thing is,
we as black people, we very sensitive. We carry our emotions on our sleeves. Sometimes I do.
I don't know my name, but there's a lot of people that told me. There was a few people that told me this. I guess a lot. But another people just made you look, don't give up. They said, don't give up. They said, go and drop the video, don't worry about it, blah, blah, what have you. And I wound up reading it. I wound up, remember when I tell the channel around? And I turned around and after I did a video about it, right? Everybody, oh no, don't shut the channel on, please don't shut the channel on. What's wrong, right? I made another video saying I'm gonna go with it. The people inspire me, I thank them. I drive over my critiques. And I have to explain why I did this. You know, in my critiques, which Jay questioned about it too, you know that. And I had told him why I see what I see, and I stood by it, right? And I still stand by it. I had no connection with him, no communication with nobody that knew him, right? And I don't know if he got yes mans around him or people that really will give him the real. And I've told him personally since, you know, what have you, that he need people to give him good counsel, real talk, and be kissing his butt, tell him what it is. But I just felt like I'm gonna get totally behind him, which I had always been behind him, because he was, you know, when he asked me about what he had said before, he questioned me about my critique. He was like, Major had always been with me. He changed. I gotta clarify that everybody listening, I've always supported this brother. When I critiqued him after he got caught up, I thought about everything he was saying that led up to the arrest and what have you, and how people had attacked him, throwing stuff in his face that he said and stuff like that. And I felt that, you know, you don't have to be with the rah. And I ain't feel like, I feel like you have to be with the religion talk. But I feel like with a way of life. What is a way of life? I'm just saying that, you know, I just feel like we already divided. Why not? Like he come back and say it later on, his black first and everything else, right? But for me, it was like I just had to get this off my chest because I was about to be fully engaged. You feel me? Cause see, what people understand. Go back to my first video, September 15, 2020, the day that this video will be dropped, celebrating our 1 year anniversary. Up until I critiqued you, and even after you, I've always supported this brother, always. My critique, because I knew there was things that I heard from him I didn't agree with, and I still don't agree today. And when I did that, I did it because I know I'm gonna put myself all the way into supporting him. See what people are not gonna do to me, especially after the year come by, is make it seem like I wasn't never down with him. Anybody see my videos, I've always been down with him. The same way I would give my critique like I did then, I would give it to him in his face. That's the type of man I am. You know what I'm saying? I don't play games like that. Right? I value this brother like I value anybody like that. See, I want people to know this. The books and things Jay talked about, I read them books and many more. I hate when people try to talk to me like I'm new to all this. I keep telling people, there are people out here that's been out here I don't even know. My best friend is as deep as deeper, you know what I'm saying? I got people around me that's into stuff like that. We just move different, that's all. But for me, I kind of took it hard, the critiques. But I want to bounce it back because the people giving the support and the love and telling me like, hey man, you know, encourage me. Don't let nobody discourage you, man. Do what you gotta do. And those same people right now still come to my lives, come to my comments, you know. And I really, really, really appreciate it. But yeah, I took it on the chin and everything. I took it right from the chin, so I wound up really coming to myself after that. Whereas once I got off my chest, I was cool. See, people know I devoted my life to supporting what they was doing to him, because too many times we let things slide. Too many times we don't call people out. I challenge some people that's making noise in the movement as far as got a verse and what have you and what have you. I challenged them. You know, I went at people that was messy and all that, you know what I'm saying? Even after the fact, you know what I'm saying? So, I don't know. You know, I think people really forget what I done. I think people really forget what I had done, you know what I'm saying? I'm like the last man almost standing when all this first kicked off, you know what I'm saying? The last man standing. You know, and I still get critiques here and there, but I'm cool. I'm cool, like, and when I say get critiques, you have people that might say something, you know, but I'm cool. I know I stand in truth, you know, and I train in my own belief about certain things. And it can be my belief, my opinion, but still, if I feel a certain thing I'm gonna say it. Now, I just have to be tactful and what have you, but teach his own. I don't let nobody say about me or judge me by the way I think. Only way I want to stop doing it because how people fickle, they carry their feelings on their shoulders. And sometimes I do. But the difference between me and people like that, I'm not going to just respond to because I disagree with somebody or say something about somebody you like, you know what I'm saying? It's just not me. Like, you say something about somebody like, cool, I'm not going to be tripping, but if a person try to go on like a constant attack, I might be like, that's not cool. And they would never like them. That was that one critique. That was it. Or the critiques I did one time, whatever. It was different occasions that it happened, but I addressed it, you know, and got it off my chest.
Grandmaster J was saying that seems like his message was that we can bear arms too, and we can arm ourselves. And how do you feel that that message was conveyed to people in the black community?
I think for those ears open, those eyes open, those who knew that a change had to come, I think they received it well. There's a lot of people, on the other hand, that don't even know anything about GMJ. Don't know anything about him. But for those who do, oh, he did a great thing. I mean, gun sales went off the roof last year. Black people more outspoken. Was actually standing up. I mean, especially loving his formations and whatnot. Him and NFAC, you know, Sister Brothers in NFAC, salute and thank you for serving the people. I think it was very impactful. I think people received him well, and they still talk about him today. They just let you know how meaningful he is. Not only just touch the states, he touched in on motherland, UK, the islands, North, South America, living everywhere. People speaking about him. You know what I'm saying? So for me, I think that what he did was great. I think he said it best. Why? It's like his First Amendment. He clubbed with your head, run over by a car, sprayed, hit with a rubber bullet or what have you, shot a rubber bullet. But if you excited his Second Amendment, with your first, you don't have to worry about it. They're not going to shoot the guns at you. They're not going to mess with you because they know that power respect power. He said Lafayette, who was out there. So I got what he was saying, right? Because when they had formations, nobody mess with them. The misfires and whatever people talking about. So that was just misinformation, and it was incident that was easily acknowledged as well as clarified. So I give this brother a lot of praise for that. I don't think that in today's age you got people that think like that. Don't get me wrong. They had gun clubs and militias, but it was like on the DL or what have you. You had people that was doing something in the community. but not to that level. And what he did was he brought it to national, international attention where, especially in the states where we can bear arms legally, he raised the level of consciousness to the next level. Then he also reached out to ex-convicts like myself and was like, hey, after so many years, you know, you can go follow your state and get your civil rights back, and you can all exercise your gun rights. So it was powerful. It was powerful. Real talk. I was truly like touched by it. You know, right? That everything else. I mean, when he come down, we talk about that. He had my full attention. I won't even lie, you know, because we don't talk in our community. We just don't talk about stuff like, even those who've been out in the movement so long, they don't talk about getting on legally, fighting back against injustice, addressing it, and what have you. No, we don't do that. We want to sit there, talk about the hurt, pain, what are we going through when it comes down to that real violence, the real issues. We took around it. And too much sound like Baptist preachers too. Real talk, you know what I'm saying? It's sad, you know, because a lot of us have the ability to really help our people and not, and do not, you know.
Say to all the people that's been supporting you, that's been down with you from day one, even the ones that came along, the people that support you, the people that donate to you financially, and just give you encouraging words all the time.
I want to say thank you. I really, really appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. Without the people, I don't think MajorTv would have went anywhere. I really have to give praise and honor to the people. It was a community effort. Again, I'm at like 4,100 right now, and subscribers, or 4,100 subscribers, and it's the people that just supported me through good and bad times, you know. When I didn't know what I was doing, when I was at my lowest, you know, there was times when I had emotional, I had to cut the screen off and come back on, and y'all was still riding with me, you know. At the time when I would be so upset not to alive, and I just click out, y'all was there for me. So thank you so much. Trust me, MajorTv is nothing about the people, and I definitely donate. I definitely appreciate all the donations. I really appreciate that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And definitely support me on the truck, because I did a lot of videos in the truck, y'all. I don't do it no more. I'm not doing live no more on a truck like that, unless I have to. I'm trying to be at home while I have a better internet, Wi-Fi, whatnot. But thank y'all. You know, y'all just don't know. I have my heart so filled, so full.
How do you feel about many people saying you held Grandmaster J down?
And what I seen someone that was trying to get a message out to people. And the message did get out. But I seen people trying to jump him. I mean, I'm not allowed to have him jump in, get in the fight, and try to just back him off of me, like, and deflect what they was doing, because obviously they was trying to do deflection themselves and downplay the significance of the information he was sharing, the knowledge he was sharing. And for me, I thought it was an incel. I thought it was a black guy in the game as far as in the movement. And I felt like shame on those people speaking against him in a negative way. Nobody above criticism, but in a negative way, trying to tell the brother now just because he was outspoken and he called people out with the BS that's been the movement for a minute. But I just did my part. When looking back, I think about all the videos I did and how I was pushing to keep this brother relevant, and for people to remember what he had done. I really didn't think about it in that sense of me just holding him down. I just thought that was the right thing to do, being a black man, you know what I'm saying? Just seeing another brother need some help. So I just did my part and just said, you know what? If I'm going to pick on him, I got to pick on me too. Because I'm going to definitely be with him and speak the truth. We need to stand up. We need to be responsible. We need to the violence in our community, as well as the police violence that we deal with often.
Are there any other people in the movement that you support?
I support King Randall, ex-boys. I donate to him monthly. As far as going to say it again, Chicago, going to a mosque in New Orleans or what have you. And though I do admire what the minister have accomplished, I'm also taken back by the lack of the nation being more consistent in the community, especially considering their history with dealing with a lot of things that these today haven't been dealing with. You know, the Minister Farrakhan been around for scores and blows, but I do support the fact of what they have accomplished and what they stood for. I'm not on the religious side of things, but I understand the black nationalist movement that they was doing and how they have lifted a lot of black consciousness, but I also have my reservations. There's not too many people I can really say per se. I donated to a bunch of people, just randomly, just because I know they're doing something righteous, but a lot of leadership I do have a question mark about. You know, I'm still observing and seeing the manifestation of what they're doing and what have you, but I support anybody that's for helping our community.
Lafayette, Louisiana, when Trayford Pillarin was killed. And what was your reason for going down there?
Of course, I'm from Louisiana. When I found that NFAC that was led by Supreme Commander Grandmaster J was going down there, and after my careful observation of the Brunswick, Louisville, Stone Mountain formations, protesting against injustice that happened to the recent death at that time of Ahmaud Arbery, Brown Taylor, and others. I couldn't really believe, you know, before I go into what I'm about to say, seeing black men pull up in a white neighborhood and demand justice. That shocked me, you know. I was like, what the? I couldn't believe it. Like, I was stunned, you know. And I heard it from the pro-black movement, people talking about it, right? The very people that spoke against it later, right? But when I noticed what was going on, how he was, GMJ, in fact, it was on the news, I was like, damn, this must be really serious. So when the unfortunate killing of Trayford Pillarin happened in Lafayette, Louisiana, by the police department, and he said he was going to the boot, Louisiana, where I'm from, New Orleans, I had to go to see if this was real. And I wanted to make sure that if I'm going to get behind this brother, I am not like most people. I just don't respond to something as soon as I see things going on or might be becoming popular. I'm going to do my observation, research with that. And I said, let me go down there. And when I went down there and I seen how these brothers got together, checking their artillery or weapons, doing safety checks, they going through, getting directions from GMJ, and organizing their formation and whatnot, and how organized they were, right? I was impressed, but when that formation started, I became very fearful, you know, because prior to even going to formation, I went to Walmart, see two white men in an armored Jeep going around the Walmart, getting a bunch of artillery, really ball artillery out. And that was the morning before I went out there, so I kind of got ahead of myself. I had to slide it in. But to go back what I'm saying, though, when they started, before me started walking, I mean, it was scary. Then that gunfight went off. We found out that happened on the other side of the park, not pertaining to NFAC and their formation, right? People try to say that, but that was definitely a lie. I was there. It was remarkable. It was scary because every time I come to the block, they talking on my rooftop. Look over there, look over there. And it was so organized. I mean, because I won't lie, when I heard about NFAC and all what was going on, I heard the naysayers, people that was talking negative and making fun of it. When I went out personally seeing it, it was serious. It was far from what I was hearing from the naysayers. So when I went out there, I got the affirmation. I got that confirmation, especially when hearing the brother speak. He was so electric. He had a lot of energy. He was fearless. He spoke to the people. And the people received him well, you know. And from there, I was like, you know what? I will get with this brother. I'm going to get behind this brother 100% and what have you. And this is one time when I first started the channel. It was like, what, a few weeks or a month or so before I started the channel. So all that was hand in hand. Because the last year, formation, because everybody did another anniversary right there. I went out there, right? But one thing Jay said in the second interview in Louisville, he said, you know what, man? He said, this is something interesting. You know, you're the only YouTuber ever came in the formation. And I was taken aback, but I was like, wow, you know. My reaction was like, wow, you know. And he gave me credit for it. At least I came out there and experienced the moment. And like a living, like he said, something happened to me tomorrow, I'm the only person who can speak firsthand. You know, being a YouTuber or black media, I actually went. So I got documented proof of being there, recording and everything. So for me, it was special, it was meaningful, and it's gonna be written in the books, you know what I'm saying, history books. Even if people don't write about it, I write about it, talk about it, because it's important that NFAC walked upon the very grounds that probably slave was held, you know what I'm saying? And when this park and really spoke to the people and got my attention, right? So it was definitely a confirmer for me that I definitely will, you know, like support the brother as he was talking about. That's when my journey began, and really just documenting NFAC and documenting Supreme Commander GMJ.
Along with Lafayette, Louisiana, we did say that you went other places and support and to show up. And how was that for you?
Lafayette, yeah, was definitely the first time I really tasted the move in the sense of going to something as big as the Lafayette Formation behind Trafford Pullerin. But I also went to Homeville, Georgia for Omari Bryan hanging deck at this little small local hotel. And the experience was different because nobody was on that I knew of. I met Big Tex along with my Auburn T's who helped put together the rally. They had a rally before then, so people would pass by, blow speakers, but it was like they had a protest already. But that right there was kind of like different because as Big Tex was on that bullhorn, speaking out and sharing his outrage for lack of arrest, investigation of Omari Bryan case. There were local police watching us, you know, riding around and what have you. And it was just a weird experience. It was a bit like dangerous, like, you know what I'm saying? So by me walking and my faith, believing the Most High, I wasn't feared at all, but I was one of the other people once I leave, right? And I drove, because it was like 3.5, 4 hours from Atlanta, Homeville, Georgia. And the experience was all right. You know, in the end, like, it kind of like wind down, you know, but in the beginning, it was a bit tense and what have you. I did some reporting out there, but that was a pretty unusual experience, but I was glad I was a part of it. Also, when I was in New Orleans to speak to the young average youth, the average youth was not nice. You know, they was high energy, playful, like most teens, very naive to what they was getting themselves into. These kids was those who got in trouble before the judge and sent to the youth center a friend of mine, Dana, and when she called me and said she needed me to talk to the youth, I was welcome to it. But when I did speak to them, it was very challenging. I had to switch the way I speak because I was speaking more diplomatic and passive, I believe. I'm gonna say that I was like not really like, I'm not with the scared straight stuff, getting their face and yelling, but I wanted to speak a little more emphatic. I really wanted to put a little energy in it, and they received me, you know. And I was able to talk to a couple of young brothers and whatnot. But I'm gonna be honest with you. What I did was just tip of the iceberg. We need to do this often in our young kids' lives in the cities, areas where it's crime rate. And from where I'm from, you know, I really want to do something big in New Orleans. Going to Louisville 3 times, two court dates for GMJ, and the Drive a Charge rally. It was definitely different. Each time I met GMJ, we got closer, we communicated. I met more NFAC members and our people. I met a lot of beautiful black people out there and what have you. And it just became a norm for me to travel like that. That's when the Cleveland, Ohio thing took place, with the gathering of the black intellect, you know. At first I was reluctant, you know what I'm saying? And I went, and I was criticized for speaking out about my disdain and distaste for my experience going out there, you know. I was like practically asked so many times to come, almost begged to come out there, and not being treated properly. Being asked to be a part of the program, but not even be a part of the program. And it wasn't really about the person or the event. It was for our people to know that I am true to the movement and cause of our true liberation. I have no time to be dealing with nobody on agendas, hidden motives, and what have you. I'm not trying to make history. I'm not trying to outdo nobody. I'm just Major, and I'm representation of MajorTv, which I share my platform with numerous sisters and brothers to come on and share their views about our cause. And for people to think that I was just doing it for clout or just to tell another brother I don't know, I was upset because I took my money and flew out there, got my own hotel, but of course nobody gave me nothing for that. Did that myself. So when I came out and spoke about it, I just was trying to speak to not that person who had I felt violated me, but people in general that would believe that when they contact me and, hey, Major, I got this going, got that going, just have it together. You know, have some legs under your movement. Don't just have a bunch of ideas and know where to go. And when you get out there, it's like, you know, I'm scratching my head, what's going on? But I stand behind me speaking out about it. But the experience, though, I still met beautiful people. And I met Cody the first time, Elaine, you know. Me and the elder were able to hang out again. I met a bunch of other brothers and sisters in Cleveland. I even met a brother when I went, got a smoothie, me and the elder. Brother walked past me and said, hey, he said, man, you MajorTv? I was like, yeah, man, get it here. And a big hug, whatever. The brother got my phone number. He calls me right now. I had more fun meeting the people in the event, you know what I'm saying? But shouts out to Atlanta, shouts out to Atlanta Porter. She did great delivering her speech on self-determination. But my whole travel experience was to network, build alliances, hopefully contribute to somebody's platform or any kind of way in the movement. And I have done that. But at the end, I also realized that I was spreading myself thin, you know. So right now I'm just appreciating my experience and my journey, but at the same time staying centered in why I started MajorTv. But it was definitely a blessing to just travel, meet different people, and be a part of the movement.
Any final thoughts or things you would like to say or extend?
Special shout out to Corey Tamora, the Elder, Chihuahua El Cador, Yolanda Porter, Supreme Commander of NFAC as a whole, many sisters and brothers that came as hosts, interviewees, donated, always watch my lives, my uploads, my audios, my positive vibrations. I want to thank my girlfriend for putting up with me and definitely showing me that there's better ways I can handle things that was happening with me with this YouTube world. You know, the YouTube streets is not nice. And also helping with the platform. I really appreciate helping with the platform. I want to shout out Bro Ty, Bro Zulu, Talk Black to Me. It's a lot of people I want to thank, and people I met along the way and what have you, that I built a personal relationship with. This has been a humble journey. Look, in life, we have to make choices. And sometimes we may not get we may not make the right decision. But in life, it's all about living, learning, and growing. Trial and error. Life is not mistakes, it's lessons. As you grow, as you build, as you understand, your life should be meaningful. Your life should have a positive existence in everything you do. People should really want to embrace when you speak, when you listen, and when you do things. Too many times, we take the little things for granted. Sometimes quiet time and speaking to the Creator, asking for visions, asking for motivation, asking for strength, especially when times are hard. We have to stop giving energy to negativity. We have to stop buying into trauma and be more proactive towards progress, towards coming together and making a change. Because when you change you, that change can also go on everybody else. So my final words, I do appreciate life. I do appreciate my journey. And I appreciate being black. And even though I know people say we shouldn't use the word black, it was a racist term, it's a color, and so forth, so on. I don't use that because I know we still use it as a people. But those who know better understand that that don't define us as a human being. But we have to stand for something, or we will fall for anything. I'm extremely grateful for this 1 year. It was a journey. It was a journey that was well worth it. If I could do it again, all the different things I made fun of myself about, ups and downs with this channel and what have you, I would do it all over again. Because I seen the people I touched. I seen the things I was doing that was causing change. I seen that I had never met people. And when they finally met me, I became friends and associates with them. That's special. So again, thank everybody. Y'all know what I'm about to say. Stay focused, stay on course, just be black. Peace.
Stay in my zone, don't tell me I'm wrong. I'm a king, I'm taking my throne. I need me a queen, she gotta be raw, she gotta be law, she gotta be raw. That's made in heaven, she's shit from the law. I give it all when I'm spitting these balls. Made it from nothing, this shit is bizarre. Trying to forget everything that I saw. This is my life, I don't need a wall. No, I ain't fake, so hold your paw. Remember them
Days I was dropping the ball, now they calling me random moss. All these haters we ran across, guess this real shit ran them off. Trying to stay positive with a whole lot of negative thoughts. Want so my people can feel, my music can change the world. Well, if not, then do some good, inspire someone to do it. I been dropping a lot of music for the streets, I wasn't trying to teach. Who am I to be a role model? Wasn't enough for me. Wish I really practiced peace, but sorry, I'm not Dr. King. Marching with our rifles out, you got the same right as me. This a Panther party, AKs, Max and MC Steen. Fighting for our rights, boy, this ain't fucking slavery. Want my people to stop all this hate. They can't believe we stuck in this state. We ain't in it right in your face. Man, we really need to pray.
This is MajorTv and this is brought to you by Major. Like and subscribe to get your notifications. Do it without you need your full participation. And we giving back just to show our appreciation. Appreciate the views and appreciate the comments. Keeping it real, always giving you this content. Hoping that my people don't take nothing out of context. Giving you this knowledge, hoping that it change your mindset. Telling you you're beautiful like the dawn of the sunset. And letting them know black power is more than just a concept. MajorTv, you know we do this for the people. Changing the community and raising future leaders. This is MajorTv and this is brought to you by Major. Like and subscribe to get your notifications. Couldn't do it without you need your full participation. And we giving back just to show our appreciation. This is MajorTv and this is brought to you by Major. Like and subscribe to get your notifications. Couldn't do it without you need your full participation. And we giving back just to show our appreciation. Yeah. That's what I feel about it with GMJ. But I believe, you know what I'm saying? So more than just yeah, you know, it's just talk long time ago, man. Shit, wait, you know this ain't happening over there. Yeah, we been grinding. Oh, you fucked up that paper and now you feeling sick. Bro been hurting, we been hurting, niggas ain't on shit. And do another year of this ain't making sense. Why time steady flying, somebody call a stewardess. Shit, miss me with that foolery. My old lady like jewelry. My kids, they like Jordans, but they really don't know who that is. I guess it's human nature, just the only one expensive shit. Saw that one with nature, saying shit like say the foresters. Sexy little body and she cuter with her natural look. Proud of her heritage, say that she from Africa, but never left America. I think her name was Erica, I think somebody married her. Shorty could have been the one, but I was on my alphabet. I was on my selfish shit, riding by myself, not really looking for a passenger. But I saved the seat just so you can sit next to me. I need someone to press record while I'm making